Let's talk today about how to rotate and who to push throughout a game of Rebirth. Look, this is one of the most requested videos that I have, and frankly, I think it's an area that people overcomplicate a little bit. So today, I've got a hybrid breakdown for you. I'm going to be giving you a few tips on how to better rotate throughout a game of Rebirth, while also breaking down this 26 kill win that I had, really paying attention to how those tips actually apply. Now, I start this game off with early game because that is where our rotations start. We need to land in the same spot as much as possible, understand where the loot crates are, understand where people like to land, and really focus on winning our early game and getting our loadout so that we can start to rotate, so that we can really start our game and start to actually push people. Now, once we get loadout, and I'm going to be giving you a few tips while the early game's rolling, and then once we get loadout, we'll really see how those apply. You know, if you don't have any information, you want to have a natural rotation. Understand that the sweats are going to be in prison, they're going to be in control, they're going to be in headquarters, but you should have a natural place that you like to rotate. If you're in bio, you know, a natural rotation might be decon or chemical. For us in headquarters, generally, I like to go to Nova 6 or living quarters. I want to have somewhere that I know that I can go to start to find information, to start to actively look for information. Now, in an ideal situation, our rotations are going to be based on information. They're going to be based on UAVs and weapon pings and trying to find where people are. And we still want to keep in mind that natural rotation until we can't anymore. So right here, I don't have a ton of information just yet, but I'm going to use my natural rotation to really go over towards Nova 6. Now, one thing that I do want to add here is we constantly want to be in the action if we're looking to get more kills. While we may have a natural rotation over to Nova 6, if half the lobby is over at control, then we probably want to be over in that control side. Now, the other thing that I'll say is we need to make quick decisions based on information. So what you're going to see here is I'm kind of in the action here. I used my natural rotation and I understood that there was a team here based on that information. So now we start to just play and we make quick decisions based on information. So right here, you know, I get this weapon ping that there is one down below me, and it is a quick decision to immediately go push and immediately go rotate towards this person. But we're going to really pay attention to how my rotations change throughout this game. The other thing that I'll say with rotations is I'm looking for easy kills. By the way, if you saw my Joe Woe's Max Mobility PPSH video on my second channel, which is all loadout videos, by the way, I'll go ahead and put that down in the comments below. If you saw that video, this is the same exact gameplay, but we're going to be paying attention to how I rotate throughout this game. Now, right here, I still have UAV up, and notice kind of where the action is. Yes, there's a team over on the boat to my left, but I want to go ahead and push towards living quarters. I'm pushing towards people. Now, how do we go about approaching these? I did a video on that as well. We're talking about patience. We're talking about once we get that first kill, we can figure out information. I'll go ahead and leave that video down in the comments below for you too. So we go ahead and push in here. Now I notice that there's one above me. There's one to my right of me on my level. So I'm going to go ahead and challenge up above. Now, one thing when it comes to rotations that I will mention, it doesn't always necessarily matter what team you're pushing, as long as you're pushing somebody and you're feeling comfortable in that area. You know, of course, I feel comfortable in living quarters. I'm going to be honest, just because of how much I play, you know, I feel comfortable at a lot of places, but there are certain times not too long ago that I didn't feel comfortable fighting at control. So if I had a decision between going and pushing living quarters or going and pushing towards control, I was going to push towards living quarters, and you can do that. Pay attention to where you fight well and don't fight well. Now, once we're in the action, that's where we start going to work about using information to our advantage, using weapon pings, and really kind of repositioning throughout fights, trying to figure out where people are and executing. I hear somebody down. I hear somebody plating up. It sounds really close to me. Then I hear the door shut. So I'm going to go ahead and challenge inside here. Be ready for this player. We've got 6 kills, 11 other teams, 1 more flying in. So now I'm a little bit out of the action here. Don't really know where anybody is. Not totally sure. Challenging this way. We get this guy right here. Get the down, get the thirst, and they're up at headquarters. Now, there's teams over at Nova 6, so I'm going to go ahead and pop UAV, and this next piece of information is going to tell me where I should rotate to next. Now, I get basically 2 flying in over here at 10s, and this is where I talk about being in the action. These are technically free kills, which, like I said, I'm constantly looking for, but there's not a whole lot actually over here. You know, if I push this team, there's not really anybody else further. If you are a player that is looking to get better and you don't necessarily feel totally comfortable being in all the action, feel free to go push that. I'm going to go ahead and push into headquarters here, try to see what I can find. Now, we get one over to the right here. And look, we just happen to be finding these players right now, you know, taking advantage of this player, and we're going to keep pushing. Now, 2 still alive on that team. Where is the action? Now, quick decision here to go ahead and rotate over towards Nova 6, right? I see people flying in. I know that there's 2 teams over here. This is where I talk about quick decision making. It doesn't always have to be, you know, Is this the right move? Should I push this team or that team? Sometimes it's better to just make a decision and put yourself in the action. And then once you're in the situation, you figure out how to approach it. You anticipate, you execute well. We hit fire there with the PPSH. By the way, if you don't know about this PPSH, definitely make sure you go check out that other video. Now, I don't have information here. I end up getting smoked. And while I'm plating up, if you are looking to get better, Rebirth, my whole goal is to help you. I'm a 4 KD player. So if you are looking to get better, just consider hitting that subscribe button down below. And I do videos every single day. I live stream on YouTube 4 days a week. So if you want to know when I'm posting and going live, make sure you turn on that notification bell. Like I said, my whole goal is just to help people get better Rebirth. Now, as I push up here, we're going to go ahead and pull back for a second. Play a little bit slower. I don't have a ton of information. I do have money, so I'm going to go ahead and buy a UAV, and this is where we slow down a little bit to understand where people are. Now, this is exactly what I talked about. Look at Nova 6. I mean, this is a pretty easy rotation. Now, once we push in here, the approach component comes in. We got to be strategic. We can't just full send and expect to finesse the 3 teams that are actually here. But I do want to be in this action. So my rotation is over this way. Now, also understand that if you are looking to get better and you don't feel totally comfortable or confident in this situation, you can definitely go push for an easy kill at headquarters. You can go push this backside of, you know, somewhere near prison and put yourself in a better position. But if you are feeling confident with your execution, you can push into these situations and be strategic. Now watch this. 1, 2, 3. There's all 3 players. So I drop shot here, I quick stim, and I get out. And this is just repositioning. And this is where we talk about approaching fights and starting to 1v2 and 1v3. But, you know, today's video is all about which way should you actually rotate, and understand how when I have that information up, the answer to which way should I rotate makes it much easier. We get the down there. I still don't know how that throwing knife doesn't hit, but in typical fashion, I don't hit throwing knives, so we're going to have to deal with that, and that's an unfortunate kind of situation. Now, we're going to go in and challenge this way. This is a little bit of an aggressive play, but you know what? We're able to pull it off. We get the thirst. We get the re-knock there, and all of a sudden, this, you know, everybody over here is just kind of dead at this point. We don't really know where anybody is. One more up above, so I'm going to go ahead and keep pushing here, keep moving. Just try to get out of that position and be able to plate up and get back in the fight. Now, as soon as I'm plated up, I'm back in the fight here. He says that there's 2 down below. By the way, Coppus says 2 down below that just killed me. So this is where I talk about quick decision making. I go from plating up, Coppus is fighting, Coppus goes down, TCAP is back, so I'm good to go challenge this. I'm going to go rotate over to this way. It's not a full rotation, but it is still a rotation. Now, I can't get the thirst right there as Snoop Dogg's looking at me. We're going to pre-fire this, an unfortunate team wipe right there. If I don't wipe that team, this could have been a 30. Who knows? Not totally sure where anybody is. So next focus is on information again. And now let's figure out where to rotate to. Do we stay here? Do we rotate elsewhere? Okay, we still got 2 teams here. We can stay here. Now let's rotate up top. How are we going to rotate up top? This is a little bit more about approaching fights. I'm going to take the outside this way. Got a bunch of people flying in. Bunch of people down below now. So we got people all over, and this is where having information is helpful because I understand where everybody actually is in terms of levels. So we're going to push down below. I get one right around the corner with Snoop Dogg here. We hip fire, down, thirsted, 1 below me. Now 2 right there, 1 flying in, 1 below me. I'm trying to see what I can find. We're just going to keep moving. We're going to re-challenge this way. And this is pace of play, right? This isn't necessarily how to actually approach fights, but understand that I know that I'm in the action here. And when we are in these situations, what happens when you don't have information? You know you're in the action, but you don't have information. It is just constant anticipation. It's constantly centering around corners, right? So somebody shoots right there, but I check around that corner. I'm checking here. I'm checking there. I'm checking straight back. I'm checking there. I'm checking there. I'm checking down the stairs. I'm checking right in front of me. I'm checking there, around the corner, straight ahead. Right there, and I'm just constantly centering, constantly anticipating, being ready for people, not knowing exactly where they're going to be. Now, as I turn the corner, I finally have one. We hit shots, we get the down, we get the thirst. There's one more up above. So I think that's something to talk about in terms of how to actually push when you don't have that information. You just constantly have to be ready for people, constantly keep moving, and basically clearing corners, trying to figure out where they are. Now, let's go ahead and rotate here. One more in that building. There might be another team, but I'm not totally sure where they are. I have enough money for loadout, or sorry, for UAV and fire sales. So I'm going to go ahead and push up here. Now I end up getting shot. So I'm going to stim back into cover. Now trying to see if they're pushing. They're not. So I was going to rotate out and then somebody re-engaged me. So now I'm rotating back and I'm back in this fight. I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of this person flying in with the STG, which is just absolutely nasty. One more on my level, so I'm going to go ahead and farm them. Now, I see that one more is flying in, but I'm going to go ahead and farm here. I'm going to push up, and I frankly want to be over this way anyway. When we talk about rotations, right? Look where Circle's pushing, so I don't want to have to fight with gas, so we got to be careful in terms of rotating too much with gas. The STG is just so good. One more down that way. And look kind of where I have to get to circle-wise. By the way, we got 18 kills, 5 other teams. We're on a really, really, really good game. So we're going to go ahead and rotate back into the action. Notice now at Nova 6, there's only one team left, or one player left. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate into the action over this way. Do I know exactly where they are yet? No, but I'm going to quickly make a decision to rotate this way so that I capitalize on the 30 seconds that a UAV is up. So now I can start to understand what level are they on. If you wait too long to make that decision, if you wait too long and you're not slide canceling to get over there quicker, what you're doing is you're wasting time where you could be getting information about exactly where that person is. One up above here, so we're going to go ahead and challenge this way, and then we're going to go ahead and challenge roof. Now, I see one straight back, a little bit of trigger discipline there. Don't quite shoot yet because I can't get that thirst, so we're going to go ahead and challenge on the roof this way. I love this prison construction because it just gives us another way to actually get on the roof. I think it's one of the best additions that they made, you know, with the new map. We get the down right there. We get the down right there. We get the thirst, which now gives us information that there's one more below, and I can go ahead and challenge this one or get this thirst inside this way. Now, as I'm turning this corner here, I know that they're shooting, so I know there's another team here. You got to be careful about that, right? So notice you hear and see the bullets, so I'm immediately going to go ahead and reposition here and go find a different way to actually challenge this person. As I turn this corner, I catch him, a quick glimpse of him right here. So now we're going to go ahead and challenge inside. We get the down, we get the thirst. Where's his teammate? Okay, his teammate's over on buy station. Last one is over there. So I'm in a good position to go grab plates. I also know that I'm not in any threat from that person just yet. Now we're in a really good spot here. Heli flying in. Heli's actually going to try to throw it up above, and I'm able to get this kill. Luckily with the STG, if that guy had killed me, I would have been down bad. Notice again that no teammates close by. So now what do? Now we're in a weird spot. Don't really have any rotations, don't really have any information, nowhere to go. We're past that early game, so there's not really any natural rotation here. Now we kind of have to actually find people. So we're going to push down here, take advantage of the supply run being up. We're going to grab that. Loadout's going to go down. This way we have an extra loadout. Notice there's no loadout on the map now, so I'm going to throw that down just in case anybody dies. Now one over to my left. This goes back to what I said with always looking for free and easy kills. That's a pretty easy kill. He's by himself, so I'm just going to take that kill, and then we rotate back up towards prison. Is there a correct decision about where exactly to rotate to here? Well, you know, it's tough to say. At the end of the day, I don't know if I want to rotate over towards Ken because of how far it is from Circle. So I am going to go ahead and push top prison here, try to see what I can find. And we get a little... We end up dancing a little bit here. One on my level. Now there's one down below to the right here, and I'm trying to figure out where everybody is and play this quickly. He ends up taking zip all the way up, which puts me in a tough spot, which takes away that free kill. Now we're going to go ahead and push over this way. Notice that there's two down below me and one up top. Now, why do I push the one up top first? Well, I try to look down below to see if I can find the two lower first, but I'm going to go ahead and clear this guy up top first because this way he can't shoot down on us. So once he's dead... Now I have power position. I have that high ground. So he's going to go down. He doesn't get thirsted somehow from that fall. I see one right there. We get that second down. Can't quite get the thirst, but I know that there's another one shooting. So we're going to go play this way. By the way, can you fall? Yes, you can. It's my favorite series on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok because of that situation. Now, I get caught in an unfortunate auto mantle right here. I wanted to just jump to kind of peek over that to get information about if he was looking at me. I end up auto mantling there. And I end up jumping up. I wouldn't call that an auto mantle because I didn't auto mantle over anything. But that's an unfortunate situation. We're going to end up flying right back in here. And we're able to still get loadout. This is where I talk about having loadout down is crucial. Now, look, I can't quite get it yet because it's not in the best spot. But I'm still going to be able to get it in a second. We're going to go ahead and tag him up just to scare him, right? He's not going to go challenge me at that point. And if he does challenge, I'm in a good position to win that. Now we're able to get the PPSH. We're able to get the STG right there. Trying to see what I can find. I know he's down here somewhere, just not totally sure where. One flying in over that way, up top. And I almost get caught in a really weird spot. By the way, this is one of my favorite moves. You should definitely learn this. All this move is right here, by the way, is I am jumping while pulling my left stick backwards. Right? So I get caught here, and he's sliding to me. So I need to open up and basically open up that FOV and keep it open So I actually jump and pull backwards, which allows me to do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and stim all the way around, trying to see what I can find. We're just going to keep moving here. And by the way, rotations for endgame, 2 important questions, as I always say. Where's your power position? Where's your cover? We just haven't really gotten to that point yet, in the sense of we're still kind of just in the action right now. There's no thought necessarily about endgame at this point because there's still a lot of people around. Plus, it's 1 other team and 2 other people. Trying to see what I can find. 1 other team, 1 other person. Copus is going to go ahead and clean up the person over that way. And that is a 26 kill win right there. I hope you found today's video helpful about how to rotate and who to push. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.